Okay, it's 8:01 a.m. on August 16th, and it's the final day of Kyoto. Yeah, we have finally arrived on the final day. Um it's been a ride. It really has. Um I I just noticed something under the bed. Okay. I slept from like 12:15 to 7:50. Right. 12:15 to 7:50. That's like over 7 hours. So that was not bad at all. That was pretty good, in fact. And yeah, I can't believe it's the last day. I mean, I can believe it actually, because I'm so tired. I've been really, really, really tired, and today is the final push, and hopefully I get to finish the things I want to do today, and then tomorrow morning I will have no regrets. So, yeah, there's that. Um, yeah. And then, yeah, so today is Arashiyama in Iwatayama Monkey Park, which is a bit far away, so it'll be a while until we're able to arrive there. And then Toei Studio Park, which I really need to go. You know me. And then Anime Shopping District Redux, and then finally Demachiyanagi for the festival. So it's gonna be a big one. My skin is visibly darker now because of the sun, because of sunburnt, which is crazy, and yeah, and I'm so tired. So yeah. I had this crazy dream where a young girl, teenager, maybe young adult, stabbed herself to death with a knife after killing everyone else, while right beside my family about to have dinner. But I haven't had lunch, and it was around 6 p.m., and I was like, where's the lunch? And the family had no idea. Don't know why. It was a good sleep, though. It was good. Yeah.
When you go, don't try to touch it.
The vertical 啊嘛，
我已經 horizontal 緊，
哦，去得去，好。
佢錄緊啊。
撳住個 lever，撳住個 lever。你撳住個 lever，撳住個 lever。哦，你 fail 咗。
你個 handle 係彈出嚟，
有咩？定係冇不嬲？
不是吧？这个好果干，好吃吗
？Bought these two, and then bought a fruit sandwich. Okay, time now is 12:01 after midnight. Um, I'm super tired. I'm gonna go to bed immediately. Um, just a recap of today, I guess. Yeah, so today is the last day of Kyoto. Tomorrow doesn't count. I don't want to do anything tomorrow anymore anyways. Um, I'm so tired. So today started with the Arashiyama bamboo forest, but I woke up at like 8 and I didn't even leave. No, I woke up at 7:50, I think. And then I slept for 10 more minutes. And then I woke up and then I left at around 9 cuz I'm slow, you know. Now, I left around 8:45 and then we all went down and we all took the bus to Arashiyama bamboo forest, and by the time we arrived it was already 10 p.m. It was super late. Honestly, I don't really care anymore, you know. If on better circumstances where I am not as tired and we have a lot of time in Kyoto, I would have um I would have gone early, but I couldn't. So there's that. But I don't care anymore. It took a whole hour, the bus ride, so I listened to some music, which is great. Listen to Japanese music and then watching the streets of Japan is just so, yes, I'm here, okay? And it's just such a great combination, especially when I was listening to a soundtrack from A Bride from Rip Van Winkle by Ui Shunji, and it just gives you that melancholic vibe. It's just truly something. Anyways, we arrived at Arashiyama, and right off the bat, it was extremely scorching hot. It was sweaty, and once again, it's a lot of walking, and almost immediately, my legs already were fucked. Like, I just don't want to move at all. Um, but yeah, we kept going, and we walked through the whole thing. Truth be told, we didn't spend much time in the bamboo forest. Anyways, and then we went through a park. We crossed the river, and we went to the Arashiyama um, monkey park. And holy shit, I did not know that I have to climb a mountain to reach it. And this is not as bad as Fushimi Inari, but it was still very tiring. And I sweat so much. And again, my blisters, I have 6 blisters on my feet, and they all hurt. Especially the one on my right feet now hurts even more. But yeah, the blisters, they're really bad. And yeah, so there's that. Um, I I eventually arrived at the top of the mountain. Again, my brother and my cousin, they are way faster than me and they have way better stamina. I was tired like immediately. We arrived at the top and it was okay. It was nowhere near as good as the last monkey mountain that we went to in Japan, which was in Nagano. This one was fine. There's a lot of monkeys roaming around. They're cute, but I can't really. It's not that big of an area. It's just a little mountain top with little feeding area. And then not too long later, we went back down. And at that point, I started getting hungry, and my cousin's like, "Let's just go find some sushi." And he found this random ass restaurant called Takara Sushi, which is nearby. And I was like, okay, but I'm a negative person, so I highly doubt it's open. We walked over there, which took a long time, and holy shit, it's open. And it's this really tiny store. It's this really tiny restaurant. That's just like sandwiched between 2 buildings. It's really small, and it only has 5 seats. And right off the bat, when I saw that, I was like, okay, this is gonna be amazing. And so we entered, and there's a little side room, like a waiting room with 3 chairs. And then, yeah, it's crazy. Um, yeah, it's absolutely crazy that, you know, um, it's a sushi restaurant right outside of a huge tourist destination, and it's as if it's in the middle of nowhere. But so it only has 5 seats. But I really respect that, and there's literally two chefs, and that's the main guy. His name is Takara, and another woman. And so me, my cousin, my brother went in, and there's another white woman there, waiting. And then the guy was like, English, okay, English, ego, and I was like, yeah. And then so he typed on the phone and used Google Translate to like text to speech, except the speech was Italian. It wasn't English, but we kind of get what it means. Um, he's basically trying to say, "Oh, you guys need to wait." So we waited for a bit, and then at some point he's like, "You know what? Let's get the 3 guys in first, and let the white woman wait." So the white woman who was here before us had to wait longer, and us 3 we went in and had sushi. We didn't order anything because we sat down and they already gave us the food, and it's 1,000 yen for 7 pieces of sushi, but it's literally the freshest possible. He literally makes it right in front of us, and it's amazing. It's not like the most delicious sushi I've ever had, but just the experience itself is fucking amazing. You know, you can really taste the sushi. It's fresh and it's handmade very carefully with a lot of heart. The guy is extremely nice. He asked us, "Oh, where are you from?" And we're like, "Hong Kong." He's like, "Oh, Hong Kong. Sorry," and gave us a Chinese menu. And we're like, "No, it's fine." And then yeah, he kept apologizing for not being able to serve us, and we're like, "No, why are you apologizing?" But anyways, it was good, and it was 1,000 yen, which is very cheap, and I highly recommend. Then we took a pretty long bus ride to Toei Studio Park afterwards, and the sun was so hot. It was truly terrible. Also, when I climbed up the mountain for Arashiyama Monkey Park, I sweat so fucking hard that I could literally see my skin pores. Like the sweat is accumulating on each of my pore, and I could actually see my skin pores. That's how absolutely insane it was. Yeah, we went to Toei Studio Park, and on the way there, it was extremely torturously hot, and it also felt like we're in the middle of nowhere. There's this convenience store called Mini Stop, who we went in there just for some air conditioning, but of course, we were there to so that my brother could get some drinks, and then my cousin got some cigarettes, and my cousin's been smoking all day. Um, and then we went to Toei Studio Park, and I honestly thought it would be kind of like a movie set, but open to tourists. But no, it's a whole ass amusement park. It's an amusement park trying to be like, Edo period, like a movie set. And yeah, there's a lot of people. It's also bigger than I thought, and also we paid pretty hefty $2,800, 2,800 yen. But we needed to pay extra to get into a bunch of other stuff like the Ninja Theater and whatever, and we decided not to go because they're all for kids, and also we don't want to waste extra money. But yeah, the village itself is fine, I guess. But the highlight is definitely the Evangelion. Being able to get into the Evangelion and pretend that I'm in it and in the capsule. It's very stupid, but it's very fun, and there's that. And then we didn't buy the photos. We were taking photos, but we didn't buy any of those because they're expensive. And then we bought some drinks. I bought a melon pop soda float, which I thought was pretty delicious, and I desperately needed that. So there's that. And then around that time, that's when I received a message that made me sad. More on that later. But yeah, that was fine. That was fun. There's this Japanese movie archive thing there, but I didn't go because at that point I kind of just gave up. I just wanted this to be over. And then we went to the indoors part, and it was okay. There's this really fancy Kamen Rider exhibition. And then we took a bus to Kawaramachi, and we literally returned to the same place, the Yasaka Shrine, etc. and we went to Rashinbang's main store, and wow, there's a whole different store, and also wow because it's also very small. It's got a little figurines. It's got a lot of figurines, but it's not the ones I look for are so rare. I wanted Akai Hato, and I kept not being able to find it. And then it's just one floor. I thought it's multiple floors. So I ended up asking the staff in that place if they have Akai Hato from Hororaibu. And it's two guys and one woman. And one of the guys was like, oh, Hororaibu. Shiteru. Shiteru. English, English. So he's like, Akai Hato. Yes, I know. But, nai. No, not in the store. And I told him, well, I checked the main store, I checked the second store, and none of the Dashinbangs have Akai Hato. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. But he recommended me to go to Book Off. But then I thought, okay, if Book Off doesn't have Akai Hato, then I would have gotten no figurines in this trip. And I know figurines are, like, not useful, but, like, I like owning them, and figurines are, like, if you want to buy them, you buy them here in Japan. It's the cheapest here. And then so I was like, you know what, in case I can't find one in Book Off, I'll just buy one here right now. So I got a Subaru here instead. And then I walked to Book Off. My legs were pretty much fucked in the ass in that moment. I walked all the way to Book Off, and my cousin couldn't handle it anymore and went to Starbucks. And me and my brother went to Book Off, and turns out it's the same Book Off in the same building as Tower Records. In fact, my brother actually went to that same Book Off, went for a spin. So I went there, and oh my god, Akai Hato is there. I couldn't believe my eyes. I immediately bought it, and it's only like 800 yen. It's insane. It's cheap as hell, and it's here. And so I was really happy. I also spent a little time looking around for any Evangelion, any Ava figurines, and like Sony Boy Blu-ray, but the Sony Boy Blu-ray thing, it's basically impossible at this point. So I was happy with it, and I went and bought it. I was also looking for Nana, the manga, but I couldn't find it, and it's like, okay, it's whatever. Because if I do find Nana manga, I could just buy that and give it to Jayun instead of buying the matcha. So yeah, after that, I went to buy matcha. But the thing is, the matcha store that Jayun wants is called Ippodo, and the nearest Ippodo store is 14 minutes away by walking. It's called Ippodo Daimaru. There's another one 24 minutes away, or just a lot of minutes away, called the Kyoto main store. And I'm not about to walk 15 fucking minutes to buy some matcha and then 15 minutes back, especially given that at that point it was already like 6 something, maybe even 7 p.m. and no, 6 something, and we need to have dinner, and then we need to head to the Daimonji festival. And then I became smart and I searched Ippodo on Google Maps, but in Japanese / Chinese in kanji, and I actually found a store, and it's a minute away. I literally crossed the road, I enter a mall, and boom, it's there. So thank God I checked. I went to that mall, I went to the basement floor, and it's a little stall, and I just bought 2 tea bags, and they're like 2,000 and something yen, which is way more expensive than I thought, but it's good stuff, and I like a good matcha. So I may bring it back home to Hong Kong, or I would bring it to LA as well, but one of them is going to be for Jayun, because she's been, talking to me a lot, and I think I should compensate her for that, I guess. So anyways, we met up with the cousin again, and then we went to, so my cousin's pretty much in charge of eating food throughout the whole trip, most anyways, and today he wanted to eat yakiniku. Honestly, I don't think it's necessary to eat yakiniku. I mean, Korean barbecue is better anyways, in my opinion. And also, I'm not that hungry. But he's like, yes, we need to eat the fanciest, most expensive yakiniku. We're gonna eat all the beef. We're gonna bankrupt the restaurant. It's war. And he keeps trying to influence my brother, and like, and he's such a good like influencer. He's like, no man, don't don't you know, don't let the fear, don't be scared. Let's eat till we vomit. Okay, if you are not vomited yet, you have to keep eating, okay? This is the big day. You have to do it. You have to do it. So my cousin kind of convinced my brother to join in. And I'm like, well, okay. So we went to this yakiniku restaurant, and my cousin's like, the most expensive one, 3 people. So 5,000 yen, all you can eat beef. And my cousin just fucking ordered one dish after another, after another, after another. And he's like, don't worry, this is just a warm up. In the last 10 minutes, I'm going to spam the tablet. And so it started off kind of slow. But near the end, the food keeps coming. Another beef starts coming. The thing is, I'm not even like surprised or scared by this anymore, because I've seen something like this happen. Like literally last year, December, when my cousins and my brother and some other friends were eating together, they keep getting more and more and more food to the point where it's like horrifying. So when I see this again, I'm like desensitized to this food madness. It's just how it is. And the interesting thing is, had my cousin not accompanied us to Japan, me and my brother, we would have had a lot less food, which is not okay. But with the cousin here, we had a lot more food than we should have had, and we spent way more money on the food. But yeah, we ate a lot, and I was in on it. I was like, fine, I'll participate in your little madness. So I also ate a lot of beef, and I drank like 3 cups of sodas, and it was so crazy. And yeah, at some point I was like, fuck, I'm full. And I'm the first one to be like, yeah, I'm done. And then my cousin was like, no, let's keep going. And so the idea was, I wanted to leave at 7:35 because at 8 p.m. the Daimonji festival is happening. And the thing is, our timer, when we ate at the restaurant, we were given 110 minutes to eat, or I think 100, and after 110 minutes we need to bounce. And so my cousin went up all the way to 110 minutes. The last minute, actually so 90 minutes, we have 90 minutes to order food, and we have 110 minutes to eat them all. Even after the 90-minute mark, food still keeps fucking coming. And at that point, I was just helping to grill. I'm not eating anymore. But I did save a little room in my stomach for 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 small scoops. But anyways, I stopped eating. I'm like, I'm fucking done. And my cousin kept going and going and going, and it's definitely past 110 minutes. It's been like 120 minutes maybe. At some point, I looked at the clock, and it says 7:54. And I was like, by the way, the festival starts in 6 minutes. And it's like they had no idea. It's like my cousin had no idea. My cousin's like, oh shit, okay, give me 5 more minutes. But like, that's like, no. Somebody came up to us and told us that we have to stop and we must pay. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pay. And by then I started getting frustrated. I was like, okay, then let's just go. And then at some point I was like, you know what, let's just call an Uber. At some point I was like, you know what, let's just go back to the hotel, forget about this festival. And then at some point I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go there by myself. So I'm like, okay, bye. So I grabbed everything immediately and left. I crossed the road, took a bus, and the bus was late by like 5 minutes. And it was late by 5 minutes, so my brother and my cousin also left the restaurant and joined me. And then not only that, but there's traffic. So we arrived at Demachiyanagi station at 8:30 p.m. and then there's a lot of people. There's a lot of commotion. We finally arrived at the little Kamo River little spot to look at the Daimonji, and it's fucking gone. People are leaving, and the flames are fading. I'm happy that I'm able to see the last of the burning, the last bit of that Daimonji. So it's not like I missed the entire thing completely, but the lighting of the Daimonji, it's long gone. And for some reason, I thought that at the Kamo River, we could also see like the North Mountain and the South Mountain, but no, that position is only for the first Daimonji. So other mountains and other symbols, we can't really see it. It's also a foggy day. So yeah, by the time I arrived, it was already fucking over, and I was quite mad. Yeah, at that point, all the atmosphere is kind of gone, and it's so fucking stupid because I wanted to come to Japan. I wanted to come to Kyoto on these days exact fuckingly because of this fucking festival. I came here, I wanted to be here on August 16th, the last night, because I know it would be a fan-fucking-tastic way of finishing the trip. It would be fan-fucking-tastic. But of course it didn't pan out that way. Of course, because my cousin really enjoyed the beef. Ooh, we're going to war today. We're gonna eat all the restaurants' beef. More, more. And so my entire plan of seeing the festival, all gone. Well, at least I hope the beef is tasty. But no use crying over spilled milk. No use crying over it. It's gone. You know, it's already over. It's over-ish. It's not completely over, but it's over-ish. And you know what? I'm just going to stand here and I'm just going to look at it and enjoy the fuck out of it because I don't know how long will be the next time I visit Kyoto in summer. So, yeah. I mean, even if I visit Kyoto again, it's probably going to be like cherry blossom season. So, like, this specific day, August 16th, Kyoto, I don't know when's going to be my next time. I really don't. But again, no use crying over spilled milk. I mean, this is already better than what happened to me in Beijing. I couldn't get into the Forbidden Palace in Beijing, and I don't even think I'll ever heading back. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I am going, an American tourist, this black guy with glasses, came up to me, and oh yeah, by the way, at Rashinbang, the staff, one of the side staff was like, Taiwan, and the main staff was like, oh, that guy thinks you have an kind face. You look like a kind person. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And then he asked me where I'm from, and I said Hong Kong. And he's like, oh, Hong Kong. That's funny. Okay, an American tourist thought I was Japanese and asked me like, sumimasen, and I was like, I'm sorry. And he's like, oh, you speak English? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, did you see the Daimonji? And I'm like, no, I just got here 5 minutes ago. And then so we both bonded over the fact that we both missed it. And he's like, yeah, I just came here, and you know, I'm kind of pissed that I couldn't make it, and I was on a tower, but then turns out I have to reserve a spot to get into that tower. So I just kind of missed it, and I'm asking around to see if anybody had like pictures. And I'm like, yeah. And then I told him, oh, maybe I could go somewhere and look at it from a different angle. And he's like, no, this is the place. And if you want to see other symbols, you have to be like all the way across the city. So yeah. But I guess that was the highlight. That was the only, like, I guess, bright moment in that entire thing. So yeah, it was very bad. And then my cousin went for another smoke, and my cousin tried to make my brother smoke, and then I could tell my cousin's sorry. So my cousin apologized to me, and my brother apologized to me, and I accept that apology. But I'm not gonna say, oh, it's okay. Like, it's not okay. Thank you for apologizing. I take it, and I'm leaving with it. I accept your apology, and I will not say anything nice in response. So I was like, well, fuck yeah. So I took whatever photos and videos I could, and then at 9 p.m. we left, and we're waiting at the bus stop a long time. It's the same bus stop we took after Imperial Palace, and this bus woman came up to us and came up to a bunch of other people waiting in line, and was basically trying to say, she went up to us and was like, Kyoto Eki, Kyoto Station? And I was like, yes. And she's like, oh, sorry, but the bus is delayed. It's more convenient to take the subway. And then she checked the phone, and she's like, oh, actually, the bus is 6 stops away, so maybe you can still wait. So we waited for the bus. And then so we got onto the bus, and it was packed. And it took like nearly a whole hour to get back to Kyoto Station. My cousin left a stop early to eat in an izakaya because not enough food. I need more food. But me and my brother, we went back. I went to Lawson to buy some stuff, and then I headed back, and then that's it. I'm done. So tomorrow, I'll be waking up at around 8:30, and then at 9 we'll head out. We'll head to Osaka, and then we will yeah, we're just gonna be there, have a lunch, and then after lunch we'll head to the airport and then fly back, and that's it. I'm done. I believe the original idea was we're gonna have a nice trip in Osaka for a few hours. Like, we're gonna head to Shinsaibashi and whatever. Honestly, I'm done. My legs are hurting. Literally, my blisters on my toes, my ankles hurt. I'm literally limping on the streets. I'm limping. I limped for 2 fucking days already. And I'm also tired in general. So I'm not gonna go anywhere tomorrow. If you want to go to Shinsaibashi, whatever, fine. I'm not going. I'm done. I'm fucking done. I want to go home and I want to sleep. So I don't care tomorrow. I'm just gonna go home. So there's that. This trip overall, though, I would say it's good. It's very intense, and I will say this: my last trip to Japan is somehow more enjoyable, even though I had less of a creative control on the trip, because my last trip was more like, A, it was a surprise, a pleasant surprise. B, it was more like relaxing. Like, one day it's eventful, the other day is relaxing, and this one is more eventful, but in terms of just going places and eating food, and just purely going places and eating food. And it's also, again, it's so intense. Every single day is so fucking intense and sweaty and tiresome, and it gets to a point. Even though I'm gonna look back and think, wow, Kyoto is beautiful, and I got to see so much. I literally got to see every major location. Kiyomizu-dera, Fushimi Inari Shrine, Arashiyama Bamboo Forest, Nijo Castle, Sanjusan Gendo. I got to see so much. But, really, and I got to eat so much food either. Like, small stuff like desserts, like pudding, warabi mochi, melon pan, to bigger things like good sushi, tempura, cold soba. It was fulfilling, but like, damn, is it tired. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to travel for like 2 years. I'm done. I'm done with traveling, unless it's like within the US. So it's a good like big send-off, I guess. So yeah, these are my thoughts. And I guess the only thing I'm going to add on is Jayun. When I was at Toei Studio Park, Jayun was talking to me about cigarettes, because her friend was like, "Oh, I just lost my fake," which I believe means fake ID. "Oh, I just lost my fake. Can you buy me cigarettes?" And Jayun sent it to me, And I was like, haha, like, you can buy cigarettes? What's the cigarette age? And Giant was like 21. And I'm like, well, I'm like about to be 23. And Giant was like, oh yeah, you can buy cigarettes. And I'm like, haha, yeah, just ask me. And Giant's friend was like, ooh, I'm a bad influence. And Giant was like, haha, yeah, I need someone to reactivate my nicotine addiction, you know. And again, I told Giant, oh, I can buy cigarettes. And Giant's like, kill yourself. And I was like, whoa. And Giant was like, oh, I'm sorry, that's an awful thing to say. And it's not okay. But the thing is, I'm really used to saying shit like this. Because I had a situation when I was 14, and me and my close friends, we all say shit to each other, like kill yourself and, you know, stuff like that. But you didn't know about that, so sorry about that. And when she said that, I didn't respond immediately, but that text really struck me because I had a situation when I was 14. So she basically tried to kill herself. I guess that's what I think that meant. And it I have several thoughts. First of all, it saddened me because I think Giant, oh man, how did it come to this? I think Giant is probably one of the most horrifyingly talented, ambitious, and skilled persons I've ever known. And she is like a force to be reckoned with. She definitely does not deserve to die. She's one of the last people I know who deserves to die. Okay? Second of all, damn. Like, she must have had a rough childhood. And then third of all, damn, because she's more and more like Leslie. Like, part of me was like, nah, Jayun can't be like Leslie. And she just texted me. Oh my god. But yeah, she's like into alcohol, into smoking, and depressed, diagnosed with depression, bipolar, not bipolar, bisexual, and is very extroverted. She's Leslie, basically. Leslie, but nice, which I think is like a great thing. But yeah, it's like creepy, you know? But I also feel really bad, but now it's like there's like a darker side to her now. And I mean, we're all film students, and there's a darker side to like most of us, anyways. Like, we're all kind of fucked up, anyways. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Maisie was suicidal. I wouldn't be surprised if Colin was suicidal. I wouldn't be surprised if Christian was suicidal. Everybody's suicidal. Everybody's fucked. But that made me think about me and how, despite the fact that I love writing edgy, sad, depressing shit, I never tried to kill myself. I mean, I've thought about it, but I've never tried it. And again, that made me feel very dumb and silly. Silly because I never tried to, but I also thought about it, which puts me in a very awkward position. You know, I should either be a very healthy person, or I should just follow it up. I shouldn't be in this middle ground, and this makes me feel like I'm at a lower league than all these suicidal masters, you know. And by suicidal masters, I'm probably only referring to Natalie and Jayun, really. I don't think Leslie's attempted suicide, but you know, very likely because it's fucking Leslie. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still like sort of struggling, like contending with the fact that, you know, my worst years are over. My worst years are literally 2018 or 2017 to 2020. Like, back then I was crying nearly every day and I had suicidal thoughts a lot, but I somehow never tried to kill myself. I never even tried to slit my wrists or anything like that. Even Cedric had tried once, and he like immediately regretted it. And right now it's like the age of health, the age as in mid-20s. Like everyone's like, you know what, let's go to the gym and let's be positive because you want to fit in society. We're not angsty teens anymore. But a small part of me thinks I should go through a very intense emotional experience. I mean, I kind of did when I came to LA, but it wasn't so intense to the point where I'm gonna murder someone, But it was intense, but I don't know. And the thing is, I'm getting more and more mentally stable every year. I think, like 2024 was like, yeah, it was like lots of ups and downs emotionally, and then 2025 was even better. And so I feel like I'm never gonna go through like a major suicidal phase anymore. I don't think I'll ever attempt. And I thought about, if I ever attempt suicide and then I come back and then I realize if in my head I'm thinking about coming back, this means I don't even want to die. This means I have a will to live. And then I'm just thinking about how Jayun, this innocent little girl who is very talented, skilled, loves fashion, loves music, loves storytelling, doesn't even have a will to live? How could you, because I have a will to live. So I don't think I can even attempt suicide anymore because my will to live gets stronger and stronger every year, which is good, but I don't know. So there's that. But like the days leading up to my meeting with Jayun, which is literally 2 days later, the more I learn about her and the more depth she has, and now she's slowly becoming more and more interesting to me, and I'm slowly really like appreciating her and unfortunately in some ways being even more scared of her. Like she's withholding some incredible power, and she's just like this 20-year-old girl. She's not even 20 yet. She's just like 19. Like and she's been through like relationships and like suicide and weird fights and family issues, and she's gone through a whole story, and she's so talented and she came out of it so strong. And I feel like vanilla bean paste compared to her. Like, yeah, I've suffered, but my suffering is like nothing compared to her suffering or anyone's suffering. Maybe my life is not bad. And then now I feel stupid for making edgy films and talking about how much I hate life and the society. But then again, maybe my hatred is valid. I don't know, but throughout when I was at Toei Studio Park and even on the bus, I was just thinking about her, and I was legitimately saddened and troubled and confused. And I don't know, part of me wants to experience something really strong next semester in a bad way. Part of me wants to experience something really strong in a good way. And it can't be both, can it? But yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I'm like vanilla bean paste, Or maybe I'm just underestimating myself. Maybe I'm not vanilla bean paste, but I feel like vanilla bean paste, Anyways, my hotel room is completely cleaned, reset. They touch my pajamas, but it's ironic because I'm leaving tomorrow anyways. Yeah. And not being able to see the festival is a huge bummer, but the real main course is seeing Jayun. Like, God, I bought matcha for her. She had told me so much about herself. If I have met Jayun at Seattle, in January, it would be like, ooh, just a cute girl. Now, when I see her in Hong Kong, it's like so much more now, you know? So, yeah. Okay. That's weird. Someone's outside my door. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed. Bye. Okay, right now it's 8:36 a.m. 8:36 a.m. on August 17th. And, yeah. I slept from like 1 a.m. ish. Maybe 1:15 to 8:30. And I had an insane dream. I had an absolutely bonkers dream. Where I went back, it was like near future, and I went back to the school and I reunited with every single person in my class in 6A, and oh my god, I'm gonna try to remember what happened. I sat next to Zane, that girl, but I don't recognize her. She looks like Ivana Wong from USC. And the professors, the teachers, they're trying to like teach us things like obedience and discipline, but it was also really funny. And oh my god, I forgot most of it already. It was such a vivid and powerful dream. I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I just dreamt that. I'm gonna try to remember it. Yeah, there were teachers, and at some point I told people, like I came out in front of the class and I did a speech, I think, and I talked about how sad I was and etc. etc. Huh. I forgot most of it. I forgot most of what happened. Yeah, and then I consecutively had a lucid dream, and I don't know if you could call it a lucid dream or not, but I was just in the city or something, and I was like, wait, I'm dreaming. I'm gonna fly. And I just started flying, and I went super fast, and then I'm like, wait, anything could happen in this world. Like, what if I look muscular and buff? And so I took off my shirt, I looked in the mirror, and I was trying really hard to think of myself being like muscular, and then suddenly it worked. And yeah, it's crazy. And then yeah, that's it. So today is the final day of the trip, and again, like I mentioned yesterday, we're probably supposed to visit Osaka a little bit here and there. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't really have any intention of visiting Osaka other than having a meal at Osaka Station, you know. So, yeah, you know, I'm just gonna be chilling today. Hopefully, hopefully I don't have to walk that much. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm gonna pack, but I don't think I need to pack that much. I mean, most of the stuff I have are already in the luggage, so yeah. Yeah, I don't think I have to pack that much. Yeah. It was a really good like sleep. I had a good ass sleep. Um and Oh yeah, people were singing. That's what was happening. People were singing in the classroom, and it was Kingsley, and Kingsley started singing, and he's such a good singer. I was like, wow, I can't believe Kingsley can sing this well. And then there's other music. There's like jazz. It was duet between flute and horns, and I thought it was like the most wonderful jazz I've heard. And um yeah, the speech thing, I don't even know if it really happened. I just thought it was just so insane that I got to see everyone else. And then at some point it was like 7:10 a.m. and I looked at the clock and I was like, damn, I woke up naturally really early, but then I fell back asleep. Huh. I don't know. Okay, I'm almost done packing. I've been packing really slowly, by the way. Very, very slowly. Let's do this. Okay, fruit sandwich. And this yogurt thing that I bought like 6 days ago, because why not? Okay. I've cleaned up most of everything. No idea where we're going right now. Oof, okay.
Soy sauce. 됐다.
Alright, right now it's like 1:13 a.m. In Hong Kong. And I just brushed my teeth and I'm about to go to bed, and I just want to say, this is it. This is over. I'm super tired, and as you can probably tell, I'm kind of sunburnt, or at least I'm a little burnt. It was a good trip. It was a little intense. It was actually very intense at times. I think I'm pushing myself too hard. But I did get to see a lot of things. I got to eat a lot of good food. If it weren't for my cousin, we wouldn't have been able to eat so much good food. And if it weren't for me, we wouldn't have been able to see so much good stuff. I guess today was a little I'm happy that I was able to wake up late. And since my cousin woke up even later than us, we left our hotel at around 10 a.m. ish, and then we very confusingly found the office to purchase the tickets to go to Osaka. And then we did that, and honestly at that point, by the time we have reached Osaka, it would have been like 11 already, and we wouldn't have had that much time. So at that point I was already really tired, and I just wanted to go home. As much as I'd love to see Osaka, I'm tired as fuck and I just want to go home. And I think my brother felt the same way. My cousin really wanted to visit like the fish market, like Kuromon market, but that means we would have to take a 20-minute bus ride or metro to that place and then come back, and it's like, just give up, man. It's a little too much. So we arrived at Osaka, and me and my brother, we were both very quiet, and my cousin was just like, okay, let's go to the Kuromon market. And then we didn't say much, and he's like, oh, you don't want to go? Okay, that's fine. Then let's just eat lunch here. Then let's just whatever. Let's just don't go outside. And then I was like, well, I mean, we could find a restaurant nearby and eat lunch there. So through Tabelog and through Google Maps, my cousin found a restaurant called Izumi-sano Ko Katsu Sushi, which is a sushi restaurant. And we basically went over there, and we walked over there. It was a little difficult to navigate out of Osaka Station, but I somehow managed to do that anyways with the power of Google Maps. Google Maps works really well in Japan sometimes. It's really crazy how accurate it is. Anyways, we went into this building. We went to the B1 floor. We found this restaurant. It's pretty tiny. We went in, we ate, and it was fine. The sushi was fine. I think the best sushi I've had so far is still Takara sushi, but that's also because of the experience of it. This one my cousin thought was better, but I would argue otherwise. But it was fine. It was a little expensive. And then, of course, my cousin hasn't eaten enough. My cousin wants more. So my cousin wants to go to another restaurant to eat omurice, 2 meals back to back. And conveniently, that other restaurant is in the mall right across. And it's called the Hankyu department store, and it's a whole fancy mall, lots of floors, and very much in league with the malls of Hong Kong. So nothing like I've seen in Kyoto, nothing like I've seen possible in Kyoto. And what I've also noticed in Osaka is that the people are way nicer. Like, I just don't feel that pressure of like, ooh, I gotta act super polite and respectful, otherwise they're all gonna look at me weird, which is the case in Kyoto. I think 99% of the times in Kyoto, I just feel this pressure that I have to be super polite and respectful and quiet, and I have to do everything right. But in Osaka, I could feel that everyone's way more chill. Like in the elevator, everyone's talking and everyone's more relaxed. And I feel like I'm back in 2025. Sometimes in Kyoto, I feel like we're in the Edo period. We're in the Meiji period or something. And everyone's just wearing 2025 clothes and having 2025 technology. Um, so this is interesting change of pace. We went to this mall and it's packed with tourists, and we went to this all-star dining, this restaurant on the 12th floor, which has omurice, which my cousin really wanted, and I saw on the menu that it has pudding, and I'm like, pudding? Hell yeah. Pudding would be the perfect final meal in Japan for me. So we went there, and turns out there's like a whole line of people waiting, and my cousin was like, fuck it, let's leave, let's go to somewhere else. And that's also another problem with my cousin, is that he gives up really fast. Whenever he finds that, you know, something's wrong, he's just like, okay, let's go somewhere else now. But, you know, sometimes that's not the strat. So we were there, and I just followed my cousin around. I didn't really care where we're going. I didn't really care anymore. So my cousin, we went to 13th floor, and we walked around again. We looked for some other restaurants in the building, and then my brother found out that the whole long line of people that were supposedly in front of us in the all-star dining restaurant, they're all gone. They all went in. So it turns out we could wait, because the wait isn't even that long. So we waited, and 5 minutes later, we went in. And my cousin ordered omurice and a pudding. I ordered a pudding. My brother ordered a matcha cake, which was mid, according to him. But the pudding I had was fine. It was not the best pudding I've ever had, but I'm just glad I'm able to have like Japanese pudding just with caramel sauce as the final little note. It just feels right for me. It just feels perfect for me. So we paid up, and then as it turns out, we're already kind of late. At that point, it was already like 1:30 p.m. Our flight is 5, but we start boarding at 4:15, which means we should get to the airport at around 2:30, 3 p.m. at the latest. So it was 1:30 at that point. If we were to arrive at the airport at 3, that means we only had 1.5 hours left. But let's be honest here, 1.5 hours. We need to find our way back to Osaka Station, retrieve our luggage, which were in the storage place. We need to get to the office and buy the train tickets, and then the train itself is 1 hour long. So it's a little, you know, risky. My cousin and brother were quite worried, honestly. I was less worried. I've been in more dire situations. But still, we're getting close to missing the flight. If we were to miss the 2 trains after us, we would have missed a flight. But of course, we didn't miss 2 trains in a row. So we went to Osaka Station, and we somehow ended up finding where the storage place is just by walking. And then we retrieved our luggage. We immediately zoomed over to the ticketing office, where we lined up for a little bit more before we purchased more tickets. And then we so there's a train that leaves at 2:03. I thought, you know what, let's just try. And we tried to, in 3 minutes, rush down from the ticketing office to the train platform. Didn't work. It took us 4 minutes instead of 3, and the train was gone by then. It took us 5 minutes maybe. So we waited half more hour for the next train. And so at 2:33 p.m. we hopped on the train. At 3:20 p.m. we arrived at the airport. We immediately checked in. We immediately went through TSA. All that took 20 minutes. And then we arrived at the gate quite on time. We even had a little time to buy souvenir. And also the plane was delayed anyways. So we hopped on the plane. The flight was okay. I slept a little bit. I ate an onigiri and drank some grape soda, which we bought prior in Family Mart. When my brother and cousin decided to buy more food in Family Mart, I was like, ugh, seems unnecessary. But then I realized, oh yeah, the flight is all the way till 9 p.m. Japan time. So I'm going to be hungry. So I'm glad I also joined in and bought an onigiri. Technically not the last meal in Japan, because I left Japan already, but the last meal of this trip. And then, yeah. arrived home really late, and I'm just super tired. So yeah, it's a good trip. My favorite meal is still warabi mochi. Just my reaction to eating that warabi mochi, that soft, fluffy mochi, the powder, the sweetness of the syrup, it was an atom bomb in my mouth. It's amazing. My favorite destination might be Nara. Ironically, my favorite destination in this trip isn't even in Kyoto. It's Nara. I love the Big Buddha. Todaiji looks amazing. The deers were fun. It's a chill area. If we're talking about within Kyoto, I would probably say either... Oh, it's a tough one. It's a toughie. It's a toughie. I love the manga museum. The library, it feels like a library. It's so chill. I also really not surprisingly, the big touristy places like the Fushimi Inari, the Arashiyama Bamboo Forest, they're all kind of overrated. The manga museum is great. I'll say this: Sanjusan Gendo is such an interesting place. I'll also say that. And just like the main area, the Gion district, I think is a good walk. So yeah, those are my spots. That's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want more adventures, even though I highly doubt I'll be doing another one like this. I'm too old for this shit. I'm too tired, and I'm too old for this shit. Alright, it's 1:25 a.m. Just a little addendum before I head to bed, which is gonna be right fucking now. Yeah, I'm super tired. I came back home and I unpacked. We had a quick dinner at like 11 p.m. with my brother and cousin, and then I unpacked in like 10 minutes or like 20 minutes. I'm like a master of unpacking at this point. I just take out all the electronic stuff, I charge everything, and then I put all the dirty clothes in the basket so that they could be washed and dried tomorrow. So yeah, I have 4 days left in Hong Kong, and it appears that it'll be a rainy and stormy 4 more days. And tomorrow, I'm seeing Jiren, which is still very shocking and scary, and I'm not prepared for it. Because, again, like, I feel like I still haven't truly grasped the gravity of this situation. Like, I fucking, like, when I was madly in love with Leslie, my ultimate dream would be to bring her to my place in Hong Kong, my turf, and have a night with her. And to be able to do that 2 years later with a girl who's also a Wong Kar-wai fan, also a filmmaker, it's just like a dream come true. And I feel like I'm not even prepared for it. I don't look good enough for it. I'm not amazing enough yet to have this kind of moment. So I genuinely don't know. But tomorrow night, it's gonna be magical. This is why I need to have a good night's sleep. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. Second of all, I did some emailing and WhatsApping. Last night I emailed this guy, this director of No Time for Goodbye, just asking him about doing an interview over Zoom. And then he quickly responded. So now we have set a date on the August 19th at night. The other thing is I was like, fuck it. So I WhatsApped Miss Ho, Chemistry Miss Ho. Yes, Miss Ho from nearly 6 years ago, about returning to the school, because I'm going to be leaving Hong Kong for a very long time and I want to go back to the school. And I was like, can I go back? And almost immediately she's like, yes, sure. How about Wednesday, 2 p.m.? So I was like, sure. So I'm going back to the school. And then, again, I DM'd Natalie. No, or more like Natalie DM'd me. And Natalie made a WhatsApp group between me, her, and Cedric saying, 20th dinner. Dinner on the 20th. And I was like, sure. So that date is set. Finally, Miriam
she's busy. She's still in Taiwan, and she wouldn't be back until the 21st. And on the 22nd, I'm leaving Hong Kong. So now I'm thinking of hanging out with her on the 21st. So that's the plan so far. Hopefully I get to enjoy the next 4 days as much as possible. And hopefully I get a good night's sleep. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.